Josh is a Pakistani film concerning a schoolteacher Fatima who goes in search of her missing nanny Nusrat in the village where the woman lives. It is eventually discovered that she has died after having been apparently run over by a car, but Fatima suspects foul play and has her fingers pointed at the village leader Khan. Meanwhile, she attempts to reopen a food bank for children that used to be run by Nusrat, a function that directly takes away power from the ever-watching Khan. Slowly but surely, she rallies the villagers in a crusade against the corrupt Khan and motivates them into standing up for themselves. Now, Josh is a competent film. It's not world-changing, but it does its job. Personally, I feel the story does not have enough meat to it. It lacks a certain punch to make it fully connect with me. I know it's a true story, and it's definitely one worth telling, but maybe it would have been better as a TV special or something, I don't know. There just isn't enough oomph to it for me to call it a good film. It's decent, nothing more. The acting is pretty good all around. There are no faults I can find in any of the performances. The acting, unlike most modern Pakistani movies that I have seen, doesn't feel movie-like, but realistic and nuanced. There's not a lot of exposition and more is implied than said or shown. For example, there's a scene where Nusrat is being violated and it's unclear whether she's being tortured, raped or merely harassed. On its own, it's a very disturbing scene. And part of its brilliance is the ambiguity of what these thugs are doing to her. The impact of the scene is lessened though near the end of the film, where it's told to the audience through a news reporter that she was indeed being raped. More on the ending later. Director Iram Parveen Bilal did well to showcase the unsure, tension-filled atmosphere of the village once the protagonist gets there. The cinematography is also very nice for the most part. Things are a tad formulaic though during the scenes in Fatima's hometown with her privileged media friends. Now, Josh is a story about power, individualism and fighting the status quo. At times it sides dangerously close into becoming a preachy girl power fest, but manages to keep on the rails. You get the idea when watching that Iram is making a commentary on the flaws of modern day Pakistan, but like the film itself, it's a competent message but not quite strong enough to be a heavy hitter. I did like the opening line the film starts with though, something about the modern Muslim's prayer and deed being present but his heart absent. By far the best thing about this movie was the character of Gulshar. One of Khan's elite enforcers. He's shown to have a complicated relationship with Nusrat. It's implied that he used to be her student and she possibly even fed him with the food bank. He's torn between his respect for her and his loyalty to Khan. Once she dies, he is deeply affected and remains distant and stressed throughout the remainder of the film. He even helps a kidnapped Fatima escape in a sense. It's not clear whether he had any part in the beating and rape of Fatima, though it does make me wonder. One element that does not work for me is the ending. Throughout the film, Fatima attempts to use her friends in the media to point their cameras at Khan and his mafia-like control of the village in order to push lawful sanctions and topple his regime. But just as the film builds steam with the political side of things, it kind of cuts to a couple of quick news reports telling us that Khan is going to be put away for a long time. It's all just very sudden. And what's with Khan's son being shot accidentally by the rebel villagers who attempt to rescue Fatima after she gets kidnapped by Khan's thugs? Unless that happened in real life, I don't really see what that added to the movie, aside from serving as a distraction for the villain so Fatima could escape. Josh is an okay film. It gets a 6 out of 10 from me.